All right, today we're going to talk about the feet, happy people. When something's wrong with your feet, it affects a lot of different things in your body. A lot of different pains that go through your body come from your feet. And today we're going to talk about how some of these problems that happen with the feet can be helped and fixed with the key bun mat and the key bun shoes. Okay, first of all, let's start with what some of the things that happen to the bottom of the feet. There's plantar fasciitis. That's the fascia on the bottom of the feet gets inflamed, gets tight, gets adhesions. There's heel spurs, little calcium bones that build up where you keep on hitting the same spot. There's neuropathy, these tingling sensations that go on the feet. So there are a host of different problems that go on the bottom of the feet. Also, there's bunions, if you have a bunion on your foot. So any of these things that go wrong with the bottom of your feet have multiple side effects. For instance, say you stub your toe, you hurt your toe, and for a couple of days you walk with a little limp. Before you know it, you have a compensation pattern. You hurt something in your hip, you hurt something in the knee, you hurt something in your shoulders, your head. Okay, because the foundation changed, and when the foundation changed, everything else changed too. So that's why it's so important what happens with the bottom of the feet. So I would say probably the biggest complaint that I get from people that I work with, my clients, are plantar fasciitis, okay? People have problems with the bottom of their feet. They have these aches and pains. They have this tightness. And plantar fasciitis can be a very, very painful thing. So let's start with what it is and what we can do about it, and why the mat is so important and the shoes are so important for this particular ailment. Okay, as a matter of fact, these are the perfect tools to work on the ailment. Okay, so fascia. What's fascia? Fascia, that white film that's on a piece of chicken. Have you ever taken a piece of chicken and you see this white film on it? It's that white marbling that you see in beef. Okay, that's fascia. The fascia is this connective tissue that goes throughout the whole entire body. Think of it like a big spider web. And you have your two hands in the spider web, you have your 2 feet in the spider web, and then everything in the center of the body is involved in this spider web. Now that spider web, as the fascia, goes onto the bottom of the feet, and it goes throughout the whole entire body. But we're talking about plantar fasciitis on the bottom of the feet, and why that's such a problem for the whole rest of the body is because once you start to favor a part of your body, then you change the alignment on the rest of your body. All right. So plantar fasciitis is the bottom of the feet, the fascia, and what is the problem and what's going on there? All right. So one of the things that people don't realize is that at one time, our feet were supposed to be springy. They were supposed to move just like the palm of our hand. And if you pick your toes up, you can actually feel that happen, where you feel the whole bottom of the foot starts to spread out. Now, because man started to wear shoes about 10,000 years ago, we started to restrict the motion of the toes inside of the shoes. Of course, when men started, they didn't start with shoes, they started with skins. And when they had skins on their feet still would move as they ran, as they walked, as they moved over the earth. But again, over time, we put soles, we put heels, and the foot stops moving. So now the foot doesn't have this springiness to it anymore, this absorbing in it anymore. And we wind up with the fascia on the bottom of the feet starts to get adhesions, starts to get tight, and pretty soon we have pain in the feet. One of the other things that affects plantar fasciitis really bad are flip-flops. Because when we wear flip-flops, we have a tendency to scrunch our toes to hold the flip-flop on our foot. And when we walk, we keep on scrunching our toes. And if you do that right now, just scrunch your toes, you can feel what happens to your calf. Everything gets tight in your calf because the fascia and the tendons from the toes all go through the bottom of the foot up into the calf, and that's where the muscles contract to work the toes. So that's how we get this problem. All right, so now we know fascia, the bottom of the feet, that white film on a piece of chicken. Things that go wrong with it. It gets tight, it gets hard, it doesn't move anymore. It's supposed to be alive, it doesn't move anymore. And so now we have this. Well, what's the solution? You know, I see clients for this all the time, and sometimes it's really a surprise because recently I had a client who had, severe plantar fasciitis, had been seeing a doctor for well over a year. And this doctor had made these beautiful orthotics for her and put these orthotics in her feet. And so one of the things when she called me after several months of all this pain and everything and nothing working, another friend of hers who had plantar fasciitis and had gotten rid of it told her about me and what I did with her. And so I met with her and to work on it. So she was in shock because she thought what the doctor had given her were the orthotics, the bottom of her feet, and these orthotics keep the bottom of the feet and put an arch in the foot again. And so what I explained to her is that what she needed to do was get the bottom of the feet soft again. So I suggested to her that she start to do some Epsom salt baths every day, massage her feet, and I told her it was imperative that she had to get herself a mat or the key-bun shoes, because the bottom of the feet need to be flexible again. The whole problem with plantar fasciitis is that everything is already stiff and hard. So we need to get it soft and flexible again. So the key bun, and I made it a requirement that if she wanted to work with me, that she had to get it, because that was one of the things that we could really work on to start to soften and get the feet to move again. So I gave her some exercises where she picked up her toes and relaxed her feet and picked up her toes and relaxed her feet and picked up her toes, and a bunch of other little things that we'll go over today, some other exercises that I showed her. And 2 months later, her feet were wonderful, and she was able to walk and go all the way to her mailbox, 3 miles to her mailbox and back where her mail was delivered, because her feet got soft. So that's what I want to say to you about the key bun, is that this is a tool that you can use to start to get the foot soft and flexible again. Yes, I have a question now. What is it?
What do you think about what foot roller or balls on plantar fasciitis?
I think these are wonderful tools to use on it. But just remember, when you work on the rollers with your feet, you don't want to go to pain, okay? Start so soft and gentle that it feels like a beautiful massage when you do it. Because as soon as you go into pain, you go into the wrong nervous system and you go into fight flight and everything tightens up. So here you're rolling the foot trying to get it soft and flexible, but in the meantime you bring it to pain. You know, remember that mantra, no pain, no gain? Well, that's stupid, okay? If something hurts, it's not good for you and your body is rebelling. So you go soft and gentle, and the foot will start to come back naturally without the pain, and that's how you can get it soft. I want to show you a little thing, a little exercise that you can do right now in your home. I'm going to come over here so that you can see it. What I want you to do is put your heel out on one foot, and then put a little pressure on it and push on it, and push the foot down, and look at what happened to your toes. Let me see if you can see that here. Can you see what happens if I push my heel down and put a little weight on it? As the foot rolls down and the toes hit the ground, can you see there's a space between every toe? The foot opens up. That's the motion that the foot is supposed to have again. And that motion right there is what needs the foot to be soft and flexible again. Now, there's another problem on the bottom of the foot that starts with something in the fascia called the stirrup fascia. What I want you to do right now is stand up right in your living room, wherever you are, and I want you to pull your belly button in and pull up on the perineum like you're doing a Kegel exercise, and pull everything up, pull the belly in, and feel how the arch of your foot just came up. That happened because we have a fascial chain, string line of fascia, that connects on the sit bone on the inside of the thigh, goes around the arch of the foot, right at the arch of the foot. That's why they call it the stirrup. And it comes all the way up into the IT band, goes all the way up into the back and everything. But that fascial chain, when you pull up on the perineum and pull the belly in, you should be able to feel both arches on your feet pull up. Hold it, and then relax. Can you feel that? Pull your belly in, pull up on the perineum, do a Kegel, and feel the arch of the foot comes up, and then relax. Okay? So flip-flops, main reason that people have lost the arch of their foot, because the flip-flop is flat, the toes are curled, and you're taking the arch out of your foot. And that's what the orthotic puts back, but it's only putting a cast on. It's not natural. Well, I have another question. What is it now? Okay, there's another question that I've had asked to me. People come to me and say that they've been told that to start exercising their foot, they need to scrunch their toes and pick up a towel or pick up a ball, try and pick up a ball with your toes. And from everything that I know, and of course I'm not a doctor, but my knowledge comes from Qigong, and Qigong comes from Chinese medicine. And in Chinese medicine, we look at a contraction and a tension, and we have to relieve one. We can't relieve a contraction with a contraction. So if your toes are already curling and the bottom of your foot is hard and everything is tight on the bottom of your foot, scrunching your toes will reinforce that, not help it. That's why on the key bun, when you pick up your toes, you'll feel how the foot opens on the bottom. If you scrunch your toes, you can feel how the bottom of the foot closes. Well, that's the position that the foot is in when the fascia is tight. So we want to relieve that position, not encourage that position. So what I want you to do is, if you don't have a key bun, do it on the floor, but pull your toes up in the air, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then just relax. And then pick your toes up, hold them, hold them, hold them, hold them, and then relax. And if you have the key bun, or in the shoes, it's hard to pick up your toes, but on the key bun mat, and that's why you should have both, the key bun mat and a pair of shoes, because the shoes keep you all the time working all the postural muscles and exercising the prime movers while you move around, where you can do training on the key bun mat. All right. The difference in the mats are in the thickness. So right here I have a 2 centimeter a mat. And the one that I'm on right here is a 4 centimeter. And the one I have over here is a 6 centimeter. Okay. So basically what this is that they're different levels. The thinner one is less reactive than the thickest one. And this one is here in the middle. Now, how we determine, what size is basically, where are you at right now? What is your situation? How much help do you need? And how much do you weigh? I mean, if your weight puts you all the way down, so when you stand on this mat, there's no motion, then it's too thin for you. By the same token, when you stand on the mat, if it's too bouncy for you, then that's not good for you. So we have, I don't know if you can see them here, but the different thicknesses, you can see how far my feet sink into the mat here. You can see how far my feet sink into. This is very hard to even stand still on, because every time I breathe, I'm in motion. And right here, you can see. So the 3 different thicknesses are, we can figure out what you use by several different factors. Okay, so pronation of a foot, if it's not from a structural thing, a bone situation, then it could be from a muscle imbalance. So basically, the exercises that we do in my healing movement program and that we incorporate into the mat and the shoes is all about rebalancing the muscle strength in the body. Okay, so let me give you a little demonstration here about what happens in the body when there's a imbalance in muscles. Say I hurt my thigh bone over here, and now my thigh is tight and I don't I can't move this leg as much as I can the other. Can you see how when I pull on one of these guide wires, everything shifts? Can you see that? I'm not sure if you can see that good on the video. Okay, but this is a representation about the pelvis of the body. This represents the pelvis. And you can see that no bone touches another bone. The bones are strung together by fascia, tendons, fascia, connective tissue throughout the whole body. So that's why when we have an injury in one part of the body that contracts the fascia on one side, it can't help but affect everything throughout the body. So by doing so, another question that I'm often asked is, and this, you can see this really clearly with this little demonstration. I like visuals because visuals can sometimes help you understand something. Can you see this right here? I have two bands. One of them has a big scar in it. Okay, this band over here had a surgery. I did surgery on it. And I gave it a big stitch and scar. Now you can also see that both of these pieces of fascia, both of these bands are the same length right now. And if I move them, they can still both go to the same length. But what you will notice is that shiny spot on that one on the bottom, where the scar is, doesn't move at all. So that means that that bottom fascia is weaker because from the scar to out on each side has to compensate for the rest of the movement where that 1-inch scar in the center isn't moving. So sooner or later, this person is going to have another injury on this side of the scar or this side of the scar. And that scar is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and pretty soon there's going to be all kinds of adhesions. So sometimes people say to me, well, I had an old injury and it doesn't hurt anymore. Well, it may not hurt anymore, but unless we get that thing fixed and get that scar soft again and get this thing moving again like that, it's going to be a reoccurring injury. And that is one of the benefits of the mat and the shoes. I want you to think of the fascia in the body like a rubber suit, okay, underneath the skin, like this rubber suit. And the whole rubber suit has got a life to it. It's got motion to it. So soft and flexible is what we want to get. And it starts on the bottom of the feet. All right, let me give you a little bit of an exercise to do also for the bottom of the feet. You remember that stirrup, okay? We talked about that stirrup before. So how do you strengthen that stirrup? You get on your key bun mat or in your shoes and you pull up on the perineum. You hold it for the count of 10 and you release. You pull it in, squeeze the air out of yourself. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and relax. Start to feel the arch of the foot. You can pull the arch of the foot up and relax. You can pull the arch of the foot up and relax. Start to engage this stirrup fascia. Another exercise for it is to take a band, take a towel, do something around the arch of your foot. Push the toe and pull the heel. Push the heel and pull the toe. Push the toe, pull the heel. Push the heel, pull the toe. Go back and forth like that so you can feel both sides of the legs engaging on that. Okay, so we're going to stand on one leg and rotate the other foot right now. And so what I want you to do is get yourself a chair or something so that you have something to hold on to. Hold on to the counter in your house. Remember, safety first, okay? So you hold on. You can do this on the floor or do it on the mat. It's even better. Push the heel out on one foot, pull the toes up nice and tight, and then make circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and try and feel that you push the front, pull the back, push the front, pull the back, and then go the other way. Go the other way. There's another exercise. In other words, we can put a whole routine together to help you with the bottom of your foot. One more short little exercise that you can do. Stand on your mat. Turn both your feet to the edges, one outside, one inside. Turn both your feet, one inside, one outside. Back and forth, hold it. Back and forth, hold it. Now, this is really, really good for that stirrup fascia that goes down the leg. It's good for everything else. But now we can make it a full body thing. Go to the side, pull one shoulder up, pull it back down. Do the same on this side, come up here. Feel this under the ribs, under the armpit, down the whole side of the body. Same thing on this side, feel under the ribs all the way down. So you have a whole body. That's the beauty of the Keybond products, is that you cannot work on one part of your body. So we've been talking about fixing the bottom of your feet all day today, but what are we doing? We're working on the feet, we're working on the knees, we're working on the hips, we're working on the shoulders, working on the neck, work on the whole body. This is an amazing product that can get you a complete and total body workout. And when you do my healing movement program, incorporate it with the Keybond products, the mats and the shoes, you have a total workout that'll change your life and keep you healthy. Namaste.